This poem is called The Krewe of Badb. Hang around to the end and I am going to provide a little commentary, the backstory of the Krewe of Badb. That's B-A-D-B. It's a strange word. It's kind of a cryptic poem, so I'll do some explaining at the end. Baby LaBelle beated to death while Denzians whistle and dance and martyred in the French Quarter, lying on Canal Street in a heap of the throes of ruin, in front of a theater splattered motionless, mistaken for a drunk. The crew of Centaur, a centenarian pack of salty old rakes and gypsy wives, friends of Bacchus, Proteus, and Endymion, all unaware, soaked in bourbon and self. And a gossamer shadow flies off towards the river, its wings cackling underneath the sounds of revelry. Baby's Creole master moved down the coast to the hinterland of the Bolivar Peninsula, 20 miles of parched and cracked oyster sidewalk that disappears into the weeds and dying sand dunes, a flat deathscape where the highest point is only 1 horse high, and atop that gulf hill a black harpy perches, wings spread in the wind like an asana pose, her talons brushing her breast feathers with a taste of salty blood on her beak, overlooking a flat landscape of buried treasure and broken sand dollars and water moccasins scouting for her next assignment. A stiff old Creole, a broken seashell with a decaying soul, perfectly seasoned for her Morrigan bird tongue. Another soul no one will miss, she hisses to herself. The old coot is already dead and doesn't even know it. Okay, that was a strange one. So obviously the setting is in New Orleans, and maybe it's Mardi Gras. There's a big party. This gal's dead in the street. Her Creole old man, he moves down to the Bolivar Peninsula, which is down around Galveston, Texas. I visited down there and actually wrote part of this while I was on vacation. So this is one of those deals where I was really inspired by a book, Christopher Moore, A Dirty Job. Oh, he's one of my favorite authors. That's a really crazy book. I won't give much away, but to say it's about a normal guy who's, while he's still alive, he gets tapped to become death, like the Grim Reaper death. And he by no means wants the job. He's not cut out for it. It's a very interesting story, very dynamic. Christopher Moore, he's a nut job. I just love his books. It's pretty absurdist fantasy, but not to the degree that you can't enjoy it. It's just a great read. And in that story, this guy who becomes death, he encounters these three, they're sort of demon witches, not witches, demon angels that manifest as birds. And they're called the Morrigan. It's actually based on sort of a Celtic, Irish, European mythology. The Morrigan was 3 angels that was kind of associated with war, and when they showed up, you died. One of them's name is Badb, B-A-D-B. The other is named Nemane, and the other is Matcha. And they all appear in this book, and they sort of war with this other guy. It's kind of encroaching on their territory, so to speak. But that's just an example of where all that comes from. I was kind of inspired by reading that book, and that's really the way it goes. If most writers say really the way to get inspiration is to read other writers, and it's no exception for me. You're a byproduct of what all you pack in here, and it's a great book. I was kind of inspired by it. Got a little bit of creep factor in it, mysteriousness, and that's where that's coming from. But hope you enjoyed it. Christopher Moore. I mean, I'm not a big book reviewer, but God, his books are so fun. I've read several of them. Practical, demon keeping. I mean, not as dark as it sounds. The guy that this one, the Lust Lizard of Melancholy Cove, is about a shape shifting sea monster, shape shifting sea monster that basically gets it on with oil tanker trucks. But anyway, yeah, Christopher Moore. Got to check it out. Hey, thanks for watching.